from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
Introducing Tractor USA, the best way to buy and sell premium ag and construction equipment. Tractor USA was designed to be straightforward, simple, and affordable with zero commission and live auctions every week. Tractor USA auctions offer the finest selection of pre-owned tractors, combines, and other ag and construction equipment from across the United States and the world. Simply go to tractorusa.com to get started today.
Walking and Rolling Costumes started when my son Reese was born with cancer.
So when I was 3 years old, I got my first wheelchair.
And he wanted to be Wall-E for Halloween that year. And so I knew you couldn't buy a costume to go on a wheelchair at that time, so I knew I had to build one.
My dad ended up building a Wall-E costume out of a Dell computer box.
When we were all finished, he loved it. We took pictures of it and shared it on social media. So many people started sharing it that we started getting requests from people we didn't know.
In 2015, we decided to build them for other kids because people were asking, hey, can you build them for my kid?
So we started the nonprofit organization, Walking and Rolling Costumes, and we build costumes for kids all over the nation, free of charge to the families.
Looking to capitalize on a mid-race and a mid-season. After a 2-week hiatus, we're at the Concrete Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware. Concrete Cabot has won here statistically 50% of the time. But live here tonight, Saturday Night Racing League presented by M&J Distributors is ready to go back racing. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, alongside Logan, the champ Threlkeld. with our camera packs provided by Dougie Beard. Logan, this racetrack is a challenge in itself. The abrasive concrete surface, it's just right around that 1 mile mark. It tortures drivers. There's a bunch of different instances of track blocking incidents. It's a tough place to survive.
It is such a tough track to tame here. You know, it's one of the best ones. It's showing who the drivers that are progressively getting better throughout a season. This is where they can start to shine. Bring it up here on your screen. Dover Motor Speedway. The Monster Mile opened up in 1969. 1 mile in length with 24 degrees of banking in the corners and 9 degrees of banking across the front and the back stretch. So that's one of the things that makes this track so difficult, Bradley, is the wrecking conditions. It's a self-clearing track, and these drivers have to be aware of that when they see incidents ahead.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of bad incidents coming out of turn 2. And if you're side by side on the exits of these corners, you can see drivers push up towards the outside wall. You're taking a chance if you're still side by side with that driver on the exit. Most likely, you're going to push that driver to the outside. They're not going to get the exit they want to, and they're going to bounce that outside wall, end up taking you with them. So you're going to see that a lot here tonight where drivers might back out. You think, oh, they've got the pass. They got a good entry into 1. They're going to end up backing out, going single file off the exit of turn 2. That's by nature. But again, early on in this race, you're going to see a lot of passing going on until these tires even out. And you might even see fuel strategy come into play. Taking a look at the points. AJ Stravato. Now, I know you're just up here in the booth for this week, Santa, but this racing has produced multi-different winners. We've had, I believe, 6 lead changes now in the points. So Bailey Turner was the points leader. We had Caleb Weekly in the points lead. We also had J.R. Shepard up there. I believe Seth Hatchell was up in the top 3, really close to it. Jeff Wright was up there at 1 point. So multiple different people have led this, but that cutoff line with Dakota Floyd, 7 points to Ferrata.
Yeah, the cutoff line battle is always one of the more interesting ones, in my opinion, at least. Of course, it's always great to see a points lead battle, but those guys that are scrapping for every single point that they can get to make sure they make that cutoff line. You know, Dakota Floyd right there, 7 points above Nathan Ferrata. He'll get a decent bump today. I don't recall seeing Ferrata's name in the practice session. Chris Hodges, of course, Andy down there in 17th. He's not out here today. Casey Lakatos, Max Cost, Austin Belkey, all drivers that have a lot of talent and can easily prove that they belong up in the top 14.
With that, though, it's time to take you down trackside, get those qualifying drivers up. Starting on the top spot here tonight, Pole Award is going to go, hey, you picked it, Seth Hatchell with the top spot. Congratulations to the driver in the number 8 after 2 weeks off. He'll start with J.R. Shepard, a 23.182. Shepard about 0.02 of a second off of that. Row number 2 is going to belong to Jeff Wright. AJ Stravato going to start in the 4th position. Then you have Ryan Carwile and Bailey Turner in row 3. Chad Klinger and Dakota Floyd 7th and 8th. And rounding out the top 10, you have the 35, Banksy the iRacer, Christopher Hodges starting 10th.
In row number 6, this 2 of Reggie Ortega will be next to the 44 of Philip Brewer in P12. P13 is held down by the 23 of Ray Massey, starting out next to the 75 of Chuck Sweeting. Behind them, the 55 of Justin Ritchie is lined up next to the man, the myth, the legend, Adam Concrete Cabot in P16. The 50 of Casey Lakatos takes up the 17th spot next to the 6 of Elliott Butler. Last but not least, in the top 20 is the 9 of Brian Chambliss next to the 54 of Bryce Shoemaker.
21st spot going to Caleb Weekly. Matt Shanoski will start in 22nd. You have Rob Hamp and Angelo Horonis in row number 12. Ben Lapter and Michael Jones back here in 25th, 26th spot. Then you go through for 27th with Stephen Davis and Brandon Wallace in 28th. Continuing on to the grid, Kenny Kibbe electing not to take a time. I'm most likely going to get the biggest mover for that one. Tim Shanoski starting at 30th. Then you have Broderick Vaglavic, Max Cost, and a 34-car field with Keith Shoemaker and Austin Belkey in the 89. So Logan, I know we have the odds, we have the picks, we have all the statistics, but what are you looking for here in this race to get to the end?
Consistency in keeping your car clean, coming off the corners, not getting up into the wall, staying out of the carnage that will unfold at a track like Dover.
Miles the Monster is hungry, but Seth Hatchell, electing to start on the outside, will take us into turn 1 for 180 laps, 35 miles per hour on the pit road speed limit. One of the toughest pit roads to get on and off of. 6 tire sets available, 5 over the wall, 3 green-white checkered attempts, and 100% fuel here this evening. Pace cars should pull off this next time by. So finally, Logan, we submitted our picks online, but let's tell the viewers who we have to win this race.
Well, I know for yourself, you've got Adam Cabot naturally as the number 1 pick. J.R. Shepard coming in at number 2 for you. Ray Massey is your number 3. Get mine pulled up here. I can't remember exactly who I picked. I know it was Adam Cabot as well. I think I had Hatchell in there for my race win, and Angelo Coronas. So a couple drivers out here that have a little bit of work to do, being the 17 at Cabot. Of course, Angelo Coronas starting back in the 24th position, so that's a lot of field to work through. But again, just keep the car clean, and you can typically come away with the top 10.
Well, $20 is a great way to start off this week here at Dover. Appreciate it, Buckeye Nut. And we've got a lot of racing to be done here, so let's start it off right. Seth Hatchell into turn 1, pace cars pulling off. And here we go for week number 11. Saturday Night Racing League presented by M&J Distributors. Seth Hatchell and J.R. Shepard into turn 1. We're live and racing. A lot of wheel spin in the back.
A lot of snaking down the front straight into turn 1 from the inside line. It's a battle up front where J.R. Shepard has gotten ahead of the pole setter. See if he can hold it down here on the bottom of 3 and 4. Take us around to lead lap number 1 for the 98 machine. Coming out of turn 4, he's looking pretty strong.
He will lead lap 1. He gets by Seth Hatchell, and Hatchell is still under attack. He's got the 48 of Jeff Wright to the inside coming off of turn 2. This is where I was talking about in the pre-race, where some drivers will back out of it. But early on in the run, you can stay side by side. Hatchell had the run.
Well, finally gets himself clear of that 48 of Wright. Single filed out through just about the entire field, at least the top 10. It's nearly side by side behind. I want to say that's the Philip Brewer-Ray Massey battle for the P12 position. Indeed it is. Brewer out on the outside. Massey down low, side by side in front of them as well with Floyd and Hodges.
Oh, 50 at Lacotta's loose off of 2. He saved it. Off of 4, rather. Kept it off the wall. That was a close call for the 50.
Stay back here and take a look at the VSPEED instant replay. What happened to Casey Lacotta's was just a classic case of loose on corner exit. Very easy to do. Start sliding that back end around, recognize it, let off the throttle. Got the car back under control without even scraping the wall. Great save by Lacotta's.
Gonna move to the outside for Chad Klinger. This is for the 7th position. He'll go by. He's trying to 2-for-1 special into 3. Gets to the inside of Ryan Carwile for 6. Will he get the position? Coming off the corner side by side. It's so difficult to maintain that run, though. Klinger is going to dive. He gets into the back of the 71.
Carla is going to come back down the track.
Caution.
The yellow. Oh, we're going to pile into it.
Big incident there off of turns 1 and 2. And Ryan Carwile on the radio not happy with that one.
Like just a little too much speed for Klinger. We saw the pass around the outside of Banks. Dove down into turn 3. Got side by side. The run off the top in favor of Carwile. It's back clear of the 09. Starts to cut it down. The 09 just not ready to lift. the slightest of touches, gets the 71 upset. Around he goes in front of the field. Collects a couple more than hard on the brakes. We're going to lock him up a couple times. Could have been worse. Could have been better.
So you saw there, the 71 kind of left the door open. I believe that was the 15 of Hodges that just got involved in that as well. He was starting up in the top 10. But watch it one more time from our blimp angle. The 71 does leave the window open there just briefly, but the 09 didn't even try to take that. He just kind of drove at his bumper there. I don't know if the 71 checked up more than Klinger was anticipating, but that took out probably 2 or 3 cars there in that one.
Carlisle still down in the pits. The 64, Ben Laughter, is also entered pits. He's been down there for about a minute, so it looks like some extensive damage for the 64 team. Then about half the field has brought it down. Going to top off on fuel. Looks like some tires in the mix as well. A lot of 14-second plus stops. Casey Licata's taking fuel only. Brandon Wallace on fuel only. Austin Belke might be on right side tires.
Yeah, 9-7 in the box there for Belke. But actually coming off pit road a little bit late, so not exactly sure what the timing was on that. Maybe coming in back in to get the other side. I know with this top half of the field, Jeff Wright just had a connection error, by the way, and has disconnected from the session. That's not good timing for Jeff Wright, but the 48 is out of the race right now. Should see him join back in, hopefully before we go back green. You've got J.R. Shepard up at the front right now, and the 8 of Seth Hatchell. So I want to ask you, do you think we'll see the same top 10? Statistically, we don't see the same drivers up front in this race towards the end. It seems like the track wears in, you burn off these tires. Pretty soon we're going to see this top 10 flip out. I don't know what your experience is here. No guarantees if you started up front.
Well, we've got our comers and we've got our goers. We've got the guys that are really fast on the fresh tires. We've got guys that are really fast on old tires. So it's going to come down to really what kind of a run we can put together here as a group and see which strategy will pay off. And you know, there's a couple names throughout the field that you can pretty well point your finger at and know what kind of strategy they're going for, but only time will tell. For the second time tonight, we're going to drop the green flag and see if we can run it a little bit further. As J.R. Shepard is in control at the bottom line, gets a great jump over Seth Hatchell. Even the second line there, Bailey Turner, taking it down to the inside of the 8 machine.
Excellent restart there for the 24. He's going to have the run off the corner. Hatchell a little loose there up near the wall. They'll go side by side again, 24 and 8. Turner will clear and get around your pole sitter.
Turner got just clear enough to slide up the track, put some dirty air on the nose of Seth Hatchell's machine. Open up that door even more, force the 8 to let out of the throttle, slide back in behind. Battle back here towards the back half of the top 10, just outside of the top 10. That's the 14 of Kenny Kibbe, just ahead of Stephon Davis, Chad Klinger, battling for their position side by side.
And as long as
going on behind too.
As long as the 14 finishes this race, I'm pretty confident that he's going to get the biggest mover. 17 positions gained already, and we're only 12 laps into this race, so that's a pretty surefire bet. When I see Kibbe come up as a biggest mover selection, I'm going to go with it every time.
I can't say I'd blame you on that one. That's a pretty solid bet there with the 14 machine. Always finds a way to carve up the field. Back up here towards the front. It's the 33 Stravato against the 35 of Joshua Banks. Travato makes his way through the inside, but gets loose on corner exit. That opened up the door for Banks to get back to the inside for turn 1. He does exactly that, side by side into the corner. See Travato able to get some speed mid-corner using that top lane. Get back clear of the 35.
Travato coming off back-to-back wins. It was a long drought here in SNR, where we hadn't seen victory lane since Michigan, all the way through season 4. The 33 hadn't won at all. Now Joshua Banks, riding on board with him right now, looking a little frustrated, trying to figure out, what am I doing wrong? As we see a battle for the lead just ahead of him.
Yeah, Shepard and Turner now side by side. Turner down on the inside. Shepard running the higher lane. They both fly down into turn 1. It looked like Shepard might have slid up the track, door to door coming out of 2. The 98 still finding enough speed to keep the nose ahead of the 24. See if he can do it and beat Turner to the start-finish line. He does this time. Behind that, Travato taking a look to the inside of Seth Hatchell. Will this open up the door for Banks and Ortega to work through?
So Hatchell had to back out of it there off the exit of 2. We didn't see that earlier when the 48 and Jeff Wright had gotten to the inside. Jeff Wright back out on the racetrack. He's 4 laps down. The race went back green before he could get back into the session. So that connection issue, as Andrew Telganoff said, problems. And I gotta say, that's a staple here in SNR. Got problems.
Problems. Right
24.
now, the 98 has a big problem. It's the 24 of Bailey Turner, still hounding him, trying to get around on the inside. Just can't seem to get the drive off the corner to challenge deep into turn 3 or turn 1. Maybe the 24 needs to let the tires cool down just a little bit. Right in behind the 98 machine. Maybe force Shepard down to the bottom and try to work around the outside of him.
You can see on the exit there, a little bit of dirty air off of 4. Bailey Turner had to lift out of the throttle just a little bit there off the exit. And that helps the 98 kind of gain a little every lap. Looking back here to battle for 6th with Cabot working up through the field.
Cabot, the clear favorite amongst the SNR odds here. A lot of drivers picking him to win this race. Of course, has a history here at Dover Motor Speedway. Fantastic on the concrete surface. Already up 9 positions. Uncharacteristic to see Cabot starting so far back. He's had quite the tough drive so far. He's still looking to gain more. Just ahead of him, side by side behind him, is Klinger and Butler.
Well, the win rate, we were talking about the pre-race, and Adam Cabot has a 67% chance of the races that he has raced here. So 2 out of the 3 races he's participated in, and he's led over 241 laps at this venue. 180 here tonight. He hasn't led a single one, but working up through the field, got around the 09 at Klinger, and is up 9 spots, slowly working his way towards the top 5.
Talked about the comers and goers, and Cabot is one of those ones that will burn you on the long run. A great job of saving tires through these short runs up until, lap 40 or so. Will really start to apply some pressures. Klinger starting to apply some pressure to the inside line. He's actually gotten clear mid-corner, but Cabot able to pick up the speed, gets the nose to the right rear on exit, doesn't allow the 09 to come up to the fence. He's kind of trapped right now behind Reggie Ortega. Cabot's going to get the speed off of turn 2. But again, just boxed in right now is the 17.
09 probably feeling a little boxed in as well, as the 2 of Ortega, as they come off the corner. I think he had to move him out of the way.
Like a 3-wide offset there, and Cabot went the hard way around. The outside line works. Ortega loses 2 as Klinger was also able to get clear. Now the 09 is going to continue to apply that pressure to the inside, keeping it wrapped around the bottom. Tell you what, Chad Klinger's got some speed here early on in this run. He dives way down deep into turn 1. Slides up about half the racetrack. Luckily enough, Cabot did the same thing, entering higher. The 17's making up a lot of ground working that outside line now. He's going to challenge the 8. The 8's going to give it up. No problem.
Nathaniel, your pole sitter, has fallen down 5 positions now since the beginning. 28 laps in. He's going to lose another one as Chad Klinger goes by on the outside. We just saw a pass before that. The 35 and the 33 were side by side. But it's J.R. Shepard, half a second ahead of all of this. He is checked out now and maintaining his stuff. 35 way up the racetrack into 1.
To the top, brings it back down to the bottom, and loose off of turn 2 is Banks. So right now it's a question of who will have the opportunity to actually challenge the 35 machine. 33 Estravado falls out of the battle just a touch. Banks all the way up to the top again in 1 and 2. Cabot nearly to the inside. They both have a wiggle off the bottom of the corner. Banks is going to keep it high.
I think dirty air from the 24 there on 1 and 2 allowed Cabot to the inside. Here comes Klinger again to the inside. Klinger is very hungry. Remember, the 09 did come down pit road there after that contact between him and the 71 of Carlisle. The 09 brought it in and got 4 tires. So as he challenges for the top 3, look at the 09 go to second position in just a couple corners. What a move.
You saw the 35 of Banks, got the 24 of Turner pretty loose coming out of the corner. That checked up Cabot. It also almost allowed the 33 Estravado to get around. It did allow the 09 to get around. Cabot on the recovery effort has gotten clear the 24. Here goes Klinger with the move. Maybe a little bit of a touch there to the back bumper, but diving to the inside of turn 1.
He got the run. I mean, he stuck his nose in there and not giving him any room at all. 35 gives him a door shot. There were tire marks on that car when the race started. I think he's going to get a few more here in a second.
It certainly seems like it. Klinger really applying that pressure. Here comes Cabot around the outside of the 09. Banks doing everything he can right now to hold on to that second place position. J.R. Shepard is checked out in the meantime. He is 1.3 to 1.4 seconds up the road from P2. Doesn't look like much on paper, but on track, it's quite the distance. About a quarter of a corner. That's exactly where you want to be, clear of all the danger that's going on behind you.
Well, and if they keep racing side by side, challenging for these positions, that's going to hold these drivers up a little bit. This top 10 has accordioned back together, and they're going to continue to race for this second spot.
Thought Cabot had a really good opportunity last time, but still just Banks making that 35 machine as wide as the track is here at Dover, keeping everybody at bay behind him. On board right now with the 44, Philip Brewer, just behind Hatchell, running P7. Challenge from the outside is Stravado. And it looks like Hatchell kind of is considering a move on Turner, but trying to pick when he can. The entry of turn 3 is not a bad place to take a look as he gets to the inside door.
But he lost ground. You saw that right there. And to fall up in line, it's so tough to complete that pass. You can get the run. He's going to end up 3 wide here with Stravano in the middle. It's getting dicey in this top 10.
Brewer had a great run off the bottom. I think that might have saved that 3 wide battle. You don't see that end up too nicely at Dover. As Klinger makes a solid move around the outside of Adam Cabot. He'll slot in behind Joshua Banks. Battle behind that. Brewer and Turner side by side.
Oh, I believe that was Stravano just tagged the apron trying to get to the inside of Seth Hatchell. And Klinger got loose off of 4.
Starting to see some of the tire wear come into play. See which one of these drivers have set up better for the longer run. You can see Klinger fighting the drive off the corner. A lot of counter steer on board here. Much better time through 3 and 4. Big loose off of 4, however. That's going to give up that spot to Adam Cabot. Let him challenge Joshua Banks again. See if Klinger can keep Philip Brewer at bay after superheating those tires.
Looking deeper back in this field here, watching Casey Lakatos, who had some issues to start this race. There's a battle for 12th position. Elliott Butler just went by for that spot, got around Ray Massey. Going to challenge Brian Chambliss and get his way to 11th position. Wiggle into the entry of the corner, tagging the wall.
To the wall, Elliott Butler, he'll fall back down to the racing line, losing a couple spots, back to P13 for the 6. Has some safety room off the back bumper. It's about a half a second to Bryce Shoemaker. But big time loose coming off of turn 4. So Butler is struggling right now. Like Kenny Kimmy might have had some issues too.
Yeah, Kimmy was up there in 10th position. Just lost some ground. Let's go back and see what happened to the 14. Oh, he came off of 4 sideways.
Same thing is what we saw. We were taking a look there at the 6 of Butler. Just ahead of him.
What a save, though.
Light tag with the wall got the car that upset is kind of surprising.
Watch the wheel work here. I mean, he saved this car 3 times.
Well, there was no touch with the wall. He was just loose immediately.
There's a handful, but he keeps it going. And we were talking about Klinger. There's battle just ahead of him here, but you were mentioning Jack Klinger. He had success here last season. Got a 2nd place finish. He also had Jeff Wright win that race. Josh Adams was P3 in that one. But you go back and look at the names. Jeff Wright statistically ends up in this top 10 every week. He needs cautions to get back up here. He has the speed, but he's riding 4 laps down right now.
That's looking in favor of, the field taking this at least to one of our green flag pit stops. But it's not looking the best for the 48 of Wright. Had the over-under set for the cautions today at 6.5, and I think it was a pretty split decision throughout the entire group. Right now, that under's looking pretty good, Brad.
I felt pretty confident about it, and watching these guys, looking at the numbers, yeah, we've had some rough ones here at Dover, but we've also had some good ones where we only have 1 yellow. I think it's really up to the mood of these guys and how they want to race it. Getting this field spread out is the best ingredient for the final recipe of caution free. So while we did have 1, I think if we keep this trend going, we might just run this thing out to the end. Chad Klinger at it again here. 3 wide. Brewer to the inside. This is for 4th.
Banks around the outside of that 09 machine. Back to P3 is the 35. Brewer trying to crack his way up there into the podium spots. Loose off the bottom of 4 will put him back behind Klinger. Staying tucked up underneath that rear bumper down the front straight, though. Keeps the pressure applied.
Oh, contact!
Oh, the clutch! Klinger saves it.
That's a close call off the 2.
And you know Brewer has to be frustrated right now. It's being proven that Chad Klinger is not an easy one to get around and stay ahead of. He has lost ground to Banks. Bailey Turner starting to catch up with that battle. Stravato, Hatchell, Ortega, Chambliss will round out the top 10. Taking a look a little bit further back here.
Some contact coming off of 4 here between the 54 and the 31. So Bryce Shoemaker, Matt Shinosky, watch this. Oh!
Shinosky right up underneath him.
And Shinosky ended up paying the price for it.
Well, Chuck Sweeting saw the opportunity, decided not to waste any time, collected the position there, trying to work back to his 14th starting position. Biggest mover so far would be that 14 of Kenny Kibbe, running P11 up 18 spots. Adam Cabot has gained 14 from 16th up to 2nd. Max Cost, another one of those drivers that can sneak in there for the most positions gained, the hard charger of the race. Started back in 31st. He's already up 13 and has a lot more room to grow than Kenny Kibbe does.
Chris Hodges, who was involved in that first, I believe it was 7 laps in. First incident of the night. So the 15 going a lap down now. As J.R. Shepard is 1.9 seconds ahead of Adam Cabot. Has been in that clean air for a while. Cabot, of course, was racing side by side with Banks and Klinger and Turner. So he's had a while to get up here. He's had 14 positions to gain. I don't think the tires are there, but he is gaining a little bit. This last time by, he was about a 10th faster last time, about 400ths faster this time.
Just wait until we get some fresh Goodyear tires underneath these O'Reilly Series cars. It'll be a totally different ball game. Of course, J.R. Shepard, we saw him take the lead after the drop of the green flag to initially start this race and has not looked back since. 56 laps led for the 98 machine. Adam Cabot had a lot of work to do to get up here, but you know that gap, it's closing. You mentioned it at 1.9. I just saw it drop down to 1.5. Now the thing for Cabot will be how quickly can he navigate around the cars that J.R. Shepard will be passing. That's going to be key for him, because right now he's got a lot of clean air on the nose, and that's obviously the route that you want to take. This is proven to be very effective for J.R. Shepard. The battle back here with Chad Klinger, Philip Brewer. Klinger went all the way up the track. I think a slight bit of contact between the 44 and the 09.
Definitely contact with the wall here for Klinger. I don't know if the 44 got into him, but definitely pushed it up the racetrack there. I think fighting the tire wear at this point, you probably felt like a superhero after coming down those 6 or 7 laps that we ran under green. You come in and pit, come out on the racetrack, just domino after domino. You get up to the top 3, and then suddenly the tires aren't there anymore.
Well, Kenny Kibbe said enough of that. He's going to be the first one to bring it down. Stravato struggles off of turn 4. He got extremely sideways. Angelo Horona's down in the pits now for over 2 minutes. Not sure what happened to the 29. We're going to have a couple more calls over race comms for pitting. The 13 of Caleb Weekly is next in line here. A couple more bringing it down. We're going to take it back and have a look at what happened to Angelo Horona's here. Why he has visited pit lane for so long. He was running solo.
Might have backed it up too far here. See if I can find this. You can see some left front damage on that car, so
Likely loose off of corner exit and brought it down to the inside wall. There's nothing wrong with
a lot of damage on that
lot
car.
On the back.
He got into something here, and I can't find exactly where it happened to him, but the car is tore up. 4 cars down pit road. 98, your leader, into pit lane.
That hands it over to Philip Brewer. The 44 will collect a lap lead. Bonus points can be vital. Chad Klinger stays out. Seth Hatchell still out, leading the older tire group in the field. Stravato, Ortega, Chambliss, Massey, and Butler up here in the top 10. 63 laps on their tires. Slide there coming out of turn 4. Brewer really starting to feel the effects of 56 laps on these tires.
And looking at pit stops, Shepard on and off the pit lane, 46.8 seconds. It's almost a full second faster than Adam Cabot. The execution on pit road for the 98 was perfect. He's about 1.5 seconds ahead still of the 17 when we get through this pit cycle.
Trying to find some drivers that might be going for an alternate strategy. Looks like everybody that has come down has elected 4 tires.
Seth Hatchell still out on the racetrack, as is AJ Stravato. So, top 5 cars. Dakota Floyd, he chose to pit there to get some of that damage repaired. The 57 was involved in that early race incident. Got about 1.5 minutes in the stall. So, a lot of that was repaired, but you can still see the 57 struggling with the left front.
So 6 drivers that still have not pitted all this race. Add 4 more to that total. The drivers that have not completed this pit cycle.
Right
on board with Max Cost.
Cost, one of those cars that hasn't came down and pitted just yet. Running in the top 10 now. 25 spots gained to be here. How long do you want to run this out, though, Logan? For every lap you're going through here? It's 25-2 for Seth Hatchell.
Oh, we got one slow up high.
Is that Brandon Wallace? No, it was not. I'm not sure who that was. We were right on board there with Max Cost when this happened.
It's the 9 of Chambliss.
Looking back on a replay to try to figure out what happened to Brian Chambliss. Looks good here through 1 and 2. It's going to be 3 and 4 here on the next side. Not sure if he just overshot the corner. Yeah, he just overshot it. That's a hard hit. So Hatchell playing some strategy games. Way up front here ahead of AJ Stravato, 1.2 seconds ahead of second place driver Stravato. The last of the drivers to come down pit road. Dakota Floyd has just hit the pit lane. Casey Lakatos yet to come down. Brandon Wallace also out there on the racetrack. So a few of these cars did top off on fuel. We still have 5 of them. Christopher Hodges in 5th spot. Got his, still a lap down, but got his way up to the top 5. Started up in the top 10 to start the night. And again, Logan, for every lap they're going by, it's a 25-2 for Hatchell. And the drivers that have come down pit lane, they're a full second faster. J.R. Shepherd just ran a 24-1. Adam Cabot's on the back porch, though.
I see a lot of 24 flats. But everything will change as the yellow flag flies. What has happened? Looks like maybe an issue with Christopher Hodges. Max Koss, possibly. I'm not sure what's happened.
Hodges was trying to make his way to pit lane. I don't know.
I found it. It was the 50 of Lakatos. The 44 and the 50 of Lakatos.
Lakatos having a low connection.
Yeah, that might have been what was leading to this. And oh man, a big hit for Chad Klinger. Just nowhere to go.
Well, the car reappeared. Watch here. He disappears and then reappears. The 44 doesn't even know he's there.
Yeah, not a clue. There's nothing you can do about that if you're any of those drivers involved. And I hate to see that for Klinger. He had such a strong run, doing everything right and staying up towards the top 5. And there he is, across the nose. It's like magic, Bradley. It's just not the type of magic you really want to see.
This pays in the favor of Seth Hatchell, AJ Stravado, Casey Lakatos, and Brandon Wallace. They all stayed out on the racetrack longer than everybody else. So they're going to benefit from this. They had a lot of this field a lap down. Jeff Wright has to come into the pit. He will not get one of his laps back, but it's down and away for Seth Hatchell. 14.5 seconds in the box. Don't go anywhere. We have more coverage to continue here on VSPEED. Miles the Monster is still hungry as we are approaching the halfway mark. Don't go anywhere.
Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
He knew it was just a matter of time when Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs.
From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items.
Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
Introducing Tractor USA, the best way to buy and sell premium ag and construction equipment. Tractor USA was designed to be straightforward, simple, and affordable with zero commission and live auctions every week. Tractor USA auctions offer the finest selection of pre-owned tractors, combines, and other ag and construction equipment from across the United States and the world. Simply go to tractorusa.com to get started today.
Walking and rolling costume started when my son Reese was born with cancer.
So when I was 3 years old, I got my first wheelchair.
And he wanted to be Wall-E for Halloween that year. And so I knew you couldn't buy a costume to go on a wheelchair at that time. So I knew I had to build one.
My dad ended up building a Wall-E costume out of a Dell computer box.
When we were all finished, he loved it. We took pictures of it and shared it.
Welcome back here to Dover, where we have a mysterious set of circumstances. A lot of cars were a lap down, so all of them have to start single file with the exception of Hatchell and Travato.
Yeah, got pretty lucky being in the position that they were for that caution to fly. And, you know, of course, we saw Seth Hatchell set the pole for tonight's race. Lost it, but now back up at the front of the field. We'll see if he can make that adjustment to stay at the front of this pack as we're closing in on the halfway point, and obviously getting a big head start with having an entire field single file behind.
Yeah, and because of that, you have some cars that were more than one lap down, like Max Cost, who had problems on the pit lane. But he's going to start up here close to getting it one of his 2 laps back. Once you're a lap down, if you got a lap back, it doesn't matter. You start in the order that you were running at that moment. Cabot got his hands full. 89, one of those cars that was a lap down.
Yeah, this has put over half the field a lap down. From 15th place on back, at least 1 lap down at the moment. So, you know, that type of caution can really spoil some drivers' races. I know I heard J.R. Shepard over Racecom's had some issues with an iRacing black flag that may or may not have been warranted. So he actually falls from even further up the field towards the back a little bit. He ended up getting a lap back, but I don't know. That was a really weird set of circumstances for just everything involved with that restart. Taking a look at the inside, trying to get past the 60 machine of Stephon Davis. Shepard really would like to get back towards the front of this field. He did so well at the beginning of this race. It was 60 laps completed in the lead for the 98 team.
Top 2 have checked out. Brandon Wallace running in 3rd now. Look at that from the 99. Staying out paid off.
The 99 not so terrible. Started 28th, up 25. Take an onboard look with him. Cabot's going to be hard to keep behind, though.
Yeah, 1.6 seconds back to 4th place, Adam Cabot. But again, this gains the 99 25 spots, so it paid off. Even if he ends up losing 4 or 5 positions, this is still a net gain.
Oh, absolutely. You have to look at the big picture sometimes, and Wallace is always one of those drivers that's willing to make that risky call, whether it's staying out longer on tires than everybody else, short pitting. Typically don't see the 99 short pit too often, but staying out way longer is kind of his go-to. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. Tonight, it looks like it's got a great chance of doing so. If he can keep that car clean, right now, theoretically, I don't see him finishing any further back than 14th.
So help me out here, Logan. I'm seeing these jewels pop up in the chat. Is this bits? What is this? Okay, I've never seen it pop up before. So I need your help to figure this out.
I have zero clue, my friend. I am so inept whenever it comes to the
I feel like I should be shouting it out. I feel like I should be shouting it out as it happens. We had 10, 200, 10, and 100. But I don't know what they are. I've never had them before.
Do whatever the heart desires.
All right. Shout out to Buckeye Nut. Yet again there. Appreciate it. The 1999. at the beginning of this broadcast. We thank you for that as well. I feel like a VSPEED t-shirt should be in the works there for that. Battle for the lead, side by side. Servato takes a stab at it. Hatchell defends it off of 2.
Servato, Wallace, Cabot, Banks making up the top 5. Cabot's still 2 seconds behind the top 3.
Well, he's had to put in some work yeah, he had to put in a lot of work to get clear of those cars. He is gaining on Brandon Wallace about, I'd say, well, last time by, Wallace was faster by about a 10th. Let's see what it is this time by. Yeah, Cabot's struggling a little bit.
Wallace still a 10 faster. 17, I would have to imagine, is going for the longer run here, maybe saving early on, knows something that we don't, is we've crossed the halfway point. Is there any thought in your mind that these cars couldn't go 90 laps around Dover Motor Speedway and go all the way to the end?
Well, before we get to that point, I don't want to say yes or no, Logan. The only thing I want to say to the viewers out there is if you lost your remote control, you're going to have to stand up, get close to that TV, or just turn up your hearing aids. And we're going to get loud, presented by FireStorm Racing. Sights and sounds from Dover. Get loud, presented by FireStorm Racing. Problems for the 75 of Chuck Sweeting while we were in that go loud. Not sure what happened. It looked like he got moved out of the way.
We can find out exactly what happened here. Taking a look back at the VSPEED instant replay. Keep your eye on the yellow machine. Either loose off of turn 4. We'll try that one more time, maybe with a different camera angle there. See if we can get a better view of the drive off of the corner where all the issues came about. Looks like, yeah, just a little loose in contact ahead of him.
Yeah, 6 got into the wall. That was the 6 of Elliott Butler. Watch him bounce off of this, Logan.
It looked like it broke the right front steering for Chuck Sweeting as well. Some net code at play there for certain as well. Maybe some left front steering damage as he nearly catches another car and ends up riding the wall.
That was Bryce Shoemaker. Watch this on board. Hello.
Goodbye. Man,
that's a close call.
Talk about threading the needle.
I don't even think he knew the needle was there. It just suddenly appeared there right in his lap. I thought maybe the 75 would keep it down there, but the suspension was broken on that car. Pushed him all the way up the racetrack. And that inside wall, we talked about it in the pre-race, Logan, how easy it is if you get in any kind of incident at all. There's no room to go. There's no washout into the grass or, you know, maybe an apron where you can save the car. No, it's wall. that on both sides. So you're in a tunnel basically, and anywhere you make a mistake, you're going to find it.
Yeah, it's very hard to keep it out of the outside wall, keep it off the inside wall, no matter where you're at on this track. It plays a very dangerous role if you get loose and find your way, sliding sideways down the front or the back straight. With that 9 degrees of banking, it just adds a whole nother aspect of how difficult it is to save the car. Now, in the meantime, I've figured out we're estimated around 70 to 75 laps of fuel with a full tank in these O'Reilly Series cars. So we should still see one more green flag pit stop unless these drivers really have been, on the clutch maybe, and really trying to save some fuel. And Adam Cabot would be one of those drivers I would suspect might be doing so, because he still has not caught up any ground to Brandon Wallace. And Wallace has, in fact, lost Stravato and Hathaway. He's 2.8 seconds behind the top two, and Adam Cabot 2.6 behind the top three.
So pay attention to the RPMs to know if Cabot is saving any fuel right now. Just driving it on the bottom as low as he can. Kind of double diamond on the entry and exit of the corners. Not gaining any ground on Brandon Wallace. It's about 2.8 like you mentioned there. Brandon Wallace 2.9 seconds. AJ Stravato this time by a little bit quicker than your leader, but not by much.
Less than 1/10 of a second difference between Hatchell and Stravato. There's not a lot of movement happening in the field right now. Casey Licata's still having some internet connection issues. Being the last car on the lead lap. About 6 seconds away from seeing Seth Hatchell and AJ Stravato go by. Leave us with only 12 still on the lead lap too, Bradley. That's
pretty wild.
Quite the feat to put over half the field a lap down and keep them there.
Well, Logan, I believe you've been called the good luck charm for Seth Hatchell. Any race that you tuned into or participated in, Seth Hatchell's had success. This could be another victory. Watching him start from the pole here tonight, looked like it was going a little bit rough, but looks like the cards fell right into the favor of the 8 so far. He's starting to put a little bit of ground on AJ Stravato. Brandon Wallace holding strong in the 3rd spot. J.R. Shepard has worked his way back to the 4th position. Got around Adam Cabot.
For these drivers that still have the possibility to take it to the end versus the drivers that know they won't be able to make it all the way to the end, Bradley, when do you think we might see another round of pit stops start happening?
I would estimate somewhere around lap 130 to 140. I would expect them to come down pit road. We're about 30 laps into this run. You said 70 to 75 laps. That kind of splits it in half. If you want an undercut, maybe lap 130, 135. But I wouldn't go much beyond 140.
That's exactly where I was thinking. That 130 mark pretty well splits the runs evenly. A touch heavier on this run here than you would till the end of the race. But you know what? Times like these, too, you have to think what would be better, to have tires towards the end of the race, or if you want to try to leapfrog a couple positions. Right now we're running 25 ones, 25 threes throughout most of the field, especially in the top 10. And we know that these fresh tires can run high 23s, and even our best laps in the field tonight down into the 23 fours. So there's a lot of ground that can be made up on some fresh tires.
Looking at those fastest lap times. Best lap time that I'm seeing on the board anyway. That 23.490, we have a 23.472. Your pole sitter and the guy that's led the most laps today competing for the fastest lap time right now.
J.R. Shepherd cycled back out, again with issues with the iRacing Post black flag. Had him one lap down. He rejoined the lead lap cars. Started at the back, I believe it was 11th or 12th. Now Shepherd has found the 98 up into the top 5, got around Adam Cabot, which is a feat in itself. Now has 1.3 seconds up the road to Brandon Wallace, back to the top 3 spots. Wallace now 5 seconds behind Stravato and Hatchell. So there's a big gap for J.R. Shepherd. A lot of lap traffic that he'll have to work around to start challenging for the top 2 again, unless that yellow flag waves.
Asa Lacanis' connection issue finally got the best of him. 50 has left the session. Chuck Sweeting out of the race. Chad Klinger, Brian Chambliss had a wheel issue. You have the 29 of Angelo Horonis, 61 laps down. Rob Hamp, Justin Ritchie, Ben Lafter, and Ryan Carwile all out of the event. As mentioned before, 12 cars still on the lead lap. Ray Massey, the first car a lap down, would be the free pass position. Dakota Floyd with the damage, competing for a spot, trying to catch up to Ray Massey. He's 4.5 seconds back. Joshua Banks goes by just now, riding in the 6th spot. But you look at Ray Massey. If a caution does come out, the Clark Print Shop 23 can get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, it would be the lucky dog position in that 13th spot. Bryce Shoemaker safe right now for about 10 seconds would be the gap between Shoemaker and Hatchell. So there's still the potential that we finish this race with at least 10 up here on the lead lap. A lot of racing to do still yet. 2 lead changes only so far in this race with the 2 cautions.
Those 2 lead changes happening very quickly. I mean, we saw J.R. Shepherd take the top spot, lap 1. Then we have our pit stops. What do you know? Seth Hatchell stays out. He just keeps staying out. The yellow falls exactly where it needs to. Puts over half the field a lap down. How many times has Seth Hatchell dialed this up?
The 14 of Kenny Kimmy is the first one to bring it down here. Lap 119 for the 14 machine. Got a couple more calls for visiting pit lane. So we're going to see a decent sized group bring it down this time, Bradley. Not quite to that lap 130 area. So about 45 laps completed for most of these cars. Some of them in the upward of 60 laps completed before they bring it down. See how this changes the complexity of how the car is driving. See if any of these drivers can make that adjustment, take advantage of the short pit. Now you have to ask yourself, is Seth Hatchell and AJ Stravato with the massive 6-second lead over 3rd place and the full lap over half the field, do you continue to run it out? You've got an estimated 30 laps left. Do you take it to the lap 130? Do you take it beyond? Because a lot of these drivers could elect to short pit it.
I can confirm those are gifts, by the way. So 500 duels and a controller there from Buckeye Nut. Again, shout out here. Hope you guys are enjoying tonight's action. I know this race is kind of flipped on its head. But as far as the action goes, we still got a lot of racing left. And we can have another yellow that can reset this field. Logan's talking about strategy. I'm paying attention to the chat. We're doing a fantastic job here on VSPEED after a 2-week hiatus and working together on GLR. Logan, I know you're not feeling the best, so I appreciate you sticking this out, filling in for Connor Ward. But, man, with still 60 laps to go, Seth Hatchell's not out of the woods yet.
No, not by any means is Seth Hatchell safe. Stravato still a fierce competitor, and Shepherd has done an amazing job to come from outside of the top 10 back to the top 3.
What happened here? I believe a penalty maybe for Banks. Something went wrong for the 35. He's stuck on pit road.
Take it back on my side of things, see what's happened. Oh, he had issues entering pit road. Just like you had mentioned at the top of the show, this place so difficult to get slowed down, and slams the right side of the 35 machine into the sand barrels. See the rear tires start to lock up, the back end starts to slide. I believe that was 44 Brewer taking evasive maneuvers to stay out of pit road. The 24 with Bailey Turner had a front row seat to it. We'll take a look from his point of view. He was able to sneak by between the 35 and the outside pit wall. Wow. Just barely, though. Focusing on the car that's in front of you instead of your speed, somehow Turner walks away, or drives away rather, without a pit road speeding penalty.
AJ Stravado down the pit lane. So an undercut here on Seth Hatchell.
Just going to keep it out for now. Banks does leave the race after that contact with the pit wall.
I'm paying attention to it. J.R. Shepard is working his way back into this picture.
Yeah, he was 6 seconds behind, and now he's under 5. Hatchell's going to bring it down.
Hatchell struggled that last time by. Had a 27-second lap time. A mistake there at some point. Don't know if he hit the wall or got loose. But that will relinquish the lead back to J.R. Shepard. These two drivers have been battling all day. Hatchell with 65 laps led. Shepard with 61.
Back to the top step of the podium is the 98. So the 99 is going to stay out on the track trying to play this long game. Hatchell currently in his box. He will be scored as 1 lap down. Adam Cabot gets around him. So does AJ Stravado with their short pit strategy.
Mind you, they're going to have about 9 to 10 laps on this stint. That's a pretty big gap on execution of pit road. We're talking about over 7 seconds.
That is a huge difference from Cabot back to Hatchell. Hatchell immediately having to navigate the 14 machine at Kenny Kibbe. Kibbe pitted 12 laps ago. It's 3 seconds up the road to Bailey Turner, who pitted 10 laps ago. It's another 1.5 seconds up the road to AJ Stravado once he catches up to Turner. I think the short pit call is the right one.
So far, but if you're Shepard, you've kind of made your bed. You got to lay in it. He's got a lot of lap traffic around him. He showed the speed there at the tail end of that run. And watching these lap times, it's about a second difference between him and Cabot. I think Cabot's going to find a way to win this race. I think he's going to end up taking the lead here. Ray Massey down pit road.
I think Shepard needs to pit sooner rather than later. Brandon Wallace is going to do Brandon Wallace things regardless. He'll probably run his car out of fuel before he decides to bring it down. But those are the only two that have not visited pit lane for their second cycle under green flag conditions. From third on back, they are all 1 lap or more down. think we'll be even back out as soon as the 98 and the 99 come down.
25 of Banks done for the day. After hitting the sand barrels, watching this go longer and longer. If a yellow comes out, again, we're going to see a shuffle around, and this could be J.R. Shepard's moment to take the lead back from Hatchell. He's officially led the most laps now, 68, and will continue to run. He's in about 10 laps before he has to come in.
There's a lot of traffic ahead of Shepard. I would say, for the most part, I'd try to play it cool and save some fuel. If you're going to commit to, running it all the way to the end of the fuel cell, you might as well see if you can gain a lap or two in the process. And staying tucked up in the draft of some lap traffic can help. Rolling off the throttle, rolling back onto the throttle a touch softer than normal coming out of the corners can save quite a bit of fuel. The more coasting time, the better, obviously, is Shepard keeping it down on the bottom of the track will be a big deal, too.
Logan, you're a champion now. So what's the strategy? We're going to see the wall ride? I think it was asked in the beginning of the chat there. Is that a way to save tires?
To save tires? Probably not. I think your wall riding is very limited to certain circumstances. As the 98 finally slows it down, brings it down to the pit road. See if the 99 of Wallace does the same. Doesn't look like he will. Brandon Wallace is going to pick up a lap lead today. Take a look at that with the third lead change of the race. Rather, fourth.
He did it with one hand.
Naturally.
He's locked in right now.
I mean, if you give it another 10 seconds, we'll probably see a peace sign.
With which hand? I hope he doesn't use his left hand.
I'm kind of with you now. I think he's beyond locked in. I don't think I've ever seen.
There it is.
There's the answer, too, with the right hand.
He's going to continue to stay out. It's just under 40 laps to go. 67 on the stint. AJ Stravado has the lead. He's got lap traffic here with the 22. Michael Jones. Cabot right behind. Are we going to see 3 in a row? Stravado's on a streak here.
There is a good possibility. You don't bet against the winning horse. The Italian Stallion. There's so many things that are lining up in favor of of the 33 machine.
And that's weird because Adam Cabot has had so much success here at this racetrack, but he hasn't led a single lap here today. This is the place, Concrete Cabot. I mean, we nicknamed him. BTDY all the way up to here in SNR, all the races that we've watched. The 17 car was fighting for the lead every single lap. A little off pace here today.
He is only 1 second behind AJ Stravado. Again, we talk about Cabot being really good in the long run. I would expect that he is likely saving some tire while trying to stay, relatively competitive with the 33 machine. Hoping maybe he's burning his stuff up to, extend this lead that he has over the 17. Stephon Davis will take a look to the inside, trying to work around Cabot. Cabot's going to let him by. No sense in fighting side by side when you're simultaneously losing ground to the person that you're trying to battle for the race lead.
Yeah, and Davis has about 10 lap newer tires than the 17, so that's a pretty easy call there. Caught him for over a second back, got to the back bumper. Pretty quick move there as Brandon Wallace will bring it down pit road. Execution here for the 99. was hoping for that caution. Will most likely fall back to around the 13th position here. Down and away for Brandon Wallace. So has laps to make up a few spots and get a top 10 out of this.
Yeah, I mean, he still has a chance. He will be one lap down from staying out so long. So, has to work around a couple drivers. And then do it again for a couple more drivers. As Michael Jones will even get around the 22 running P12. First car one lap down.
All right, here's the numbers for you.
Go for it.
Only 0.2 a second right now faster for Seth Hatchell. That time around, about 0.3 faster than the leader. If he does that consistently for these next 30 laps, he will be at AJ Stravado in the final lap.
Will he be able to get around Stravado? That time only 0.1 of a second faster. But closing that gap up to Cabot very, very quickly. Cabot, the only one in the top 5 right now, running 25.0s. Everybody else has the tire advantage. 7 laps for Stravado, 10 laps for Hatchell. Lap times show it too. Cabot dips back down into the 24s, a 24.9. Is Hatchell 0.2 of a second faster than Stravado, 0.3 of a second faster than Cabot.
I know that I'm going through the math right now, Logan, so if I'm a little bit camera shy, it's because I'm trying to figure out, we don't do math here at VSPEED, not well anyway. Terrible math, and the rough calculations, again, they're pointing to that final lap. But Hatchell's been inconsistent, so I'm constantly having to adjust those numbers. Last time by, it was about 2.5 tenths. This time around, they can match lap times. Cabot is catching by a 10th. He's 2.8 back. Still have 27 laps to go here. AJ Stravado is clear of the lap traffic. He has cars racing behind him. There's the 63 of Max Cost, who will clear. He is 3 laps down, but on much fresher tires. Will Stravado let him go? I think he has no choice.
And that could help Hatchell. He'll get some dirty air on the nose of the leader. He's had, the clean air for so long now. Stravado will allow Max Cost to get through on the inside of turn 1. 63 drives it off the corner, creates a little bit of space there, but how does this affect the 33 with his cornering speed? Keep an eye on those times on the left side of your screen. 3 seconds right now for Cabot, 4 seconds there for Hatchell behind the race leader. Some work to do, but it is possible.
It seemed to help Stravado a little bit there with the draft. Hatchell at 4.1. Cabot's lost some ground. Hatchell's going to be making a pass here in a couple laps on the 17. About a 10-lap difference on tires here for the top 3, with Seth Hatchell only 27 laps on this stint. Stravado's got 2-lap disadvantage here, but Cabot's at a major disadvantage. So whatever Stravado did on and off pit road, he executed it to a T. It was 14.1 seconds in the box there for the 33 car. We're continuing to watch that gap change and shrink. It's Caleb Weekly to the outside. 13 car running in 18th position, 2 laps down. We're about to see a battle for second. So we continue on here at Dover. If you are enjoying tonight's action, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You'll never miss a single race. We go live every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. The Saturday Night Racing League presented by M&J Distributors. Walking and rolling costumes, Clark Print Shops involved. Tractor USA. Everyone in between here for Saturday Night Racing League. A lot of proud sponsors here for the 6th season. And every season has been live on VSPEED. If you want to go back and watch the archives as we watch this battle for second. Seth Hatchell to the inside of Adam Cabot. Took him a long time to get here. 20 laps to go. Battle for second spot. AJ Stravato is going to love this. He's 3.6 seconds ahead of this. J.R. Shepard just behind Bailey Turner. Going to try to work up to the 4th position. Has the 24 in his crosshairs into 1. We'll get clear for that 4th spot. Hatchell still working on Cabot. Heath Shoemaker and Michael Jones traded position. There's the 98 of Shepard working by on the inside of this battle. So now it's 4 seconds. Hatchell not able to complete the pass on Cabot. Cabot riding up near the wall. The Larson line at the 1 mile concrete oval is defending well. On board with Seth Hatchell. Taking a listen in. These cars are backing up way more than they were at the beginning of the race, Logan.
Yeah, that they are. And it's just incredible to see how well Cabot can defend from that top line. You know, he's chewing up the tires, but now's the time to do it. We're inside 15 laps to go. All bets are off. It's now or never to hold on to these positions. Cabot obviously doesn't quite have enough stuff to try and go and challenge AJ Stravato, but you might as well try to defend for the podium spots as J.R. Shepard is reeling in this battle, 3.5 seconds behind now. As Cabot and Hatchell still trying to sort it out.
So the tires have kind of plateaued. They've leveled off, they've evened out. Now it's up. Hatchell has to settle for second place. And I know that's frustrating, but AJ Stravato did a fantastic job. 14-1 in the box, 47-3 down the lane. That is a full second over. When you boil it all down, he gets ahead of these guys just with excellent execution. And that's not including being on the apron, on the outlap there. How much speed did he build up coming out on the exit of pit road? We don't have those numbers, so he probably did a fantastic job on that. And then where do you come out with lap traffic? He probably had cleaner air. You know, you watched the 17 and the 8 now battling. That's helping as well to extend this lead. It's over 4 seconds, coming up on 4.5. So everything is falling in the favor of the 33. AJ Stravato is looking for his 3rd win in season 6. I don't think he has 3 wins in 5 seasons.
Hey, I mean, you might as well string them together if you're going to do it. Go on a run with it.
He might have 3 wins total in 5 seasons. I have to look that up.
Race number 11 here today. And of course, after Dover, it's Charlotte next weekend.
Special event as well.
You know, yeah. So, you know, it's going to be kind of all out there, too. Of course, Saturday Night Racing League always presenting great races. Is Hatchell and Cabot have swapped spots now. The 8 machine has found his way to the outside line. And it is working. You see Cabot staying so close to that left rear quarter panel. It's helping keeping him competitive here with Seth Hatchell. But at the end of it, I think that top line will give the 8 machine enough of a drive off the turn 4 to keep himself ahead of the 17. I don't know, though. It's really hard to say.
Yeah.
Again, we call him Adam Concrete Cabot for a reason.
The 8 car rode in the tire tracks, watched the 17 run that high line, decided he wanted to try it. It defended so well, maybe he could clear. But Cabot pulled the Uno reverse card and said, okay, I'll defend down here. Why not? And I just, you know what? That was probably as bad as saying 6-7 last weekend.
Yeah, good possibility of that. But either way, this battle for P2, this is where all the action is right now. Hatchell finally gets clear of the 17 machine. He can go up full defense mode. Doesn't look like he'll need much assistance in that category, immediately putting 2/10 over the 17.
Four and a half seconds to Stravado. I mean, he's gone. This race stays green, he's gone.
5 laps to go here at Dover. It's going to go by in a flash. I don't care how much tire Seth Hatchell might have. I don't think there's anything for AJ Stravado.
And right now, as it sits, biggest mover. Thank you, Kenny Kibbe, for making me right. 21 spots gained. And with 4 laps to go, coming up on 3 left, your Clark Print Shop biggest mover so far is going to go to the 14.
Notable mentions in that category would be the 99 of Brandon Wallace with 17. The 89 of Austin Belkey has 18 positions gained. So there's quite a few big movers in this race. And of course, you can't forget Adam Cabot started outside of the top 15. So to come away with the podium after gaining 13 positions, it's no easy task. 3 to go here with Stravado. Apologize, 2 to go that time by with Stravado in the lead by just over 4 seconds. Bradley, this one makes 3 in a row.
Got to win at Texas. Got to win the week before that. We took our break, and he's getting pretty used to finding the checkered flag. Here we go, one more time around at Dover. A mile left to seal the deal for 3 for the 33. AJ Stravado. Miles the Monster was no challenge. 3 and 4. The 33 is going to call himself victorious yet again. AJ Stravado wins at Dover and drifts it into 1 and 2.
As well do it in style. Big time performance coming out of that 33 machine, getting closer and closer to the end of the regular season. Every single point matters from this point on. And what a time to start a streak, Bradley.
When you take the points lead and then you start winning, that's definitive. We've only had 4 champions. Here we see our 5th in the making right here. Burning it down on the front stretch. Post-race interviews with your top three and those final race results coming up in just a moment's time. You're watching the Saturday Night Racing League presented by M&J Distributors. A word with AJ Stravano, Seth Hatchell, and Adam Cabot right after this.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish! Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time when Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
Introducing Tractor USA, the best way to buy and sell premium ag and construction equipment. Tractor USA was designed to be straightforward, simple, and affordable with zero commission and live auctions every week. Tractor USA auctions offer the finest selection of pre-owned tractors, combines, and other ag and construction equipment from across the United States and the world. Simply go to tractorusa.com to get started today.
Walking and Rolling Costumes started when my son Reese was born with cancer.
So when I was 3 years old, I got my first wheelchair.
And he wanted to be Wall-E for Halloween that year. And so I knew you couldn't buy a costume to go on a wheelchair at that time. So I knew I had to build one.
My dad ended up building a Wall-E costume out of a Dell computer box.
When we were all finished, he loved it. We took pictures of it and shared it on social media. So many people started sharing it that we started getting requests from people we didn't know.
In 2015, we decided to build them for other kids because people were asking, hey, can you build them for my kid?
So we started the nonprofit organization, Walking and Rolling Costumes, and we build costumes for kids all over the nation, free of charge to the families.
Welcome in, everybody, for Saturday Night Racing League. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Again, well, thank you all for being here.
32 cars, green flag at Daytona. And it is a cluster back here for the 15th position. Haley Turner lead him down.
Turner, Stravano, Jeff Wright. We see some lockup, big lockup. Rewind for second. Sturgeon clears all of them.
It comes down a little bit here in the entry of one. Quarter
might just try to run him out of room here. Oh, he put him in the wall. They're going to crash. They both crash. Ray Massey's going to win it. Are you kidding me?
Welcome back here to Dover, where we have concluded our 180 laps. It was another fantastic day of racing. Race recap of 2 cautions, 5 lead changes. Let's bring up those final race results. The 33 of AJ Stravano, he won at Rockingham, he won at Texas. Now is victorious at Dover. Seth Hatchell, after starting on the pole, competing for the most laps led, ends up second spot. Adam Concrete Cabot getting a top 3, and then it's the driver who competed for those most laps led and got it, the 4th place driver, J.R. Shepard. He has been bad fast these last 2 seasons, and I mean, just the way the cautions fall, the way the races happen, kind of feel bad for the guy. I mean, he's always putting out his best, and sometimes the race just manipulates it in a different name, but I'm sure he'll find his way to victory lane very soon. Bailey Turner will get a top 5 24 car, quiet all day, but running up there in the top 10. Reggie Ortega putting it together, started 11th, 6th place finish for the 2 car. Kenny Kibbe, biggest mover. Clark Prince Shop Award there for the 14. Elliott Butler, remember the 6 car had that moment there on a turn 4. He's going to end up in 8th. Bryce Shoemaker, a quiet night, but he's going to end up gaining a notable 22 position. Actually, I take that back. It's only 11 spots gained. Add math on that. Philip Brewer is going to finish out your top 10.
Just outside of the top 10, it's the man that tried to make the strategy go the long way. The 99 of Brandon Wallace finishes 1 lap down with Ray Massey behind him in the 23 machine P12. Matt Shinosky takes the 31 to a 13th finishing position from 22nd at the beginning of this race. Stephon Davis will lead us in here in 14th with the 60 machine, starting our group of 2 lap down drivers. Dakota Floyd in the 57 takes home 15th. Austin Belke in the 89 takes home 16th. Caleb Weekly from 21st to 17th for the 13 team. Max Cost will be the last driver in 18th, 2 laps down. Michael Jones starts us out with a 3 lap down drivers, and Keith Shoemaker will round out the top 20.
Jeff Wright's going to end up 21st position, 22nd going to Chris Hodges. Connection issue there for the 48 and damage there for the 15. Tim Shinosky finishes 23rd. Joshua Banks early exit to this one. And then we go for the cars that didn't finish the race. Casey Lacanis in the 50. Chuck Sweeting, a problem there. Got loose. I don't know exactly what happened, but there was some net code, something off of turn 4, put that car to the inside wall. Chad Klinger, you saw there, contact with the 09 and ends up 27th position. Brian Chambliss 28th. Angelo Horonis is going to finish in 29th with Rob Hamp in 30th. And the rest of your field here with Justin Ritchie. Very short race for Ben Lafter, Ryan Carwile, and Broderick Vaglavic electing not to take the grid. But now it's time to take you down trackside and get your post-race interviews in here. We're going to have to send out an MMO or an HMO or, I don't know, one of those acronyms. I don't know what it takes to get these guys in the broadcast waiting room, but apparently they're hard-pressed. They're up there chatting with everybody else.
It's we'll get a word with them eventually, I guess, on their terms, but let's just force the issue here and start moving these people around a little bit for you, Bradley. We'll get 3rd place Adam Cabot ready for you. We'll get Seth Hatchell down here as well and find AJ Stravato wherever he might be.
I believe he's in Sad Boys.
Got eyes on, and they are ready. Who do you want to talk to first, Brad?
We're going to pull up your race winner, AJ Stravato, in the number 33. Now 3-time winner this season. You got it done at Texas. You got it done at Rockingham. Now Dover. AJ, you picked a fine time to start winning. You took the points lead, and it's looking good this season.
Yeah, it's been nice to a couple of nice runs here and click off a couple wins here in a row. It's hope I don't peak a little too early. There's a long season, but obviously nice to run well and get a couple wins down the belt. Don't know if I was per se the quickest car, I guess, firing off, but felt good about our long run pace. So I was figured stay out there, and luckily got a caution and was on the good side of strategy there today.
Well, AJ, you executed on pit road on that final stop. That's where it really came down to. You had all these different strategies. You had people short pitting. You had drivers that stayed out long in that flip of the caution. But you stuck true to your execution. I think that was the deciding factor, in my opinion.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I it's definitely not easy getting through Dover's pit road. I can tell you that. It's a very fine line. I mean, we saw what happened, I think, to Banks, unfortunately. It's really tough. So I just figured hit my marks, execute what I practiced on during practice, getting into the pits. And I don't know if Seth missed his box or missed going into the pits. I just heard somebody tell me that he messed up. So executed what I needed to do, made no mistakes, and was able to carry that home, the fresh tires to a win.
I believe the 8 might have had a problem finding. He tried to enter pit road there and backed up, had to go another lap from where he wanted to pit. So he lost a little bit of time there. But ultimately, we were going through the stats, and I don't know if this is correct or not, AJ, but in the 5 seasons we've ran prior to this, I think you might have 3 wins combined in 5 seasons. Now you've had 3 in the first 11 races. How does that feel?
It can't lie, Bradley. It feels pretty good, man. I take a lot of pride, and probably a little bit too much pride in having some speed here and getting some wins. And I feel like we've had a lot of speed in the past years and had a lot of wins slip away. So it's really nice just to be able to run a little bit better, run a little bit more. I think that's the key. Just race a little bit more and have able to find a little bit extra speed and click off some wins. So obviously some really good guys in here like Jeff, Bailey, Banks. I mean, Dakota, all these guys. I mean, I could go on and on. So it's definitely not easy each and every week.
AJ Servano, 3rd win on the season. Anybody you got to shout out for victory lane this one?
Yeah, just all my teammates, Bailey, Banks, Adam, Angelo, and my buddy Chris, and my wife. Every time she's down here watching, seem to win. So I think that's she's the
secret.
She's the secret to all of it, is a good old wife. So Nexus Esports and Lucky Duck Motorsports and all the guys on the car that support me. I definitely don't take it for granted. I appreciate it.
AJ Servano, victorious at Dover. We'll see you in 1 week's time. 300 miles at Charlotte.
Yes, sir.
So there you have it. Your first place driver and excellent execution. Again, I think that was the deciding factor with all the undercuts, the overcuts, all the drivers that were in the strategy. We were naming off people, thought Shepard, Cabot, Hatchell, and then Servano comes out of nowhere and just proves us wrong again. So congratulations to him.
Absolutely. The Italian Stallion taking home the win. Big deal being so close to the playoffs. And like you mentioned, picking up momentum at the exact right time. But in the meantime, I've moved down here and I've caught up with our 2nd place finisher, Seth Hatchell, joining us up here in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
65 laps led for you. Of course, you set the pole for the race, so congratulations on that. Now, we saw you elected for the top line on the initial green flag drop. It didn't really work out for you. It seemed like dirty air was really a big factor in today's race. What was going through your head, once you kind of settled in and found your rhythm and started to make way with it?
Yeah, took the top on that initial start. Just wanted to be, I didn't know what to expect really, so I figured it was a safer option. The bottom ended up being the way to go. You could just run so much more throttle through the inch you wanted to. on the restarts, but just wanted a safe option. And lost a couple spots there at the beginning. So then I think 5th or so. I think even slid back to 8th at one point. My strength was definitely long runs. It was just so hard to pass with the dirty air, and then even if guys were closing up behind you, they could really get you arrow loose. So just trying to manage that. AJ and I went long that first pit cycle, and I knew there was going to be a caution somewhere. I just knew there just always is here. And so that played out really well, and we could really set the tone after that. Stayed ahead of AJ there for the first part of that last run, and then just missed the pit entry by a little bit. I think I could have probably made it still. Just hit the brakes a little too late. Didn't feel confident turning down and getting the penalty for in the commitment cone. So went around another lap, and that ultimately cost me the time there at the end. I think I still had really good pace even to run him down if I wasn't have to race Cabot there at the end, but just a little mistake. But really happy with the speed tonight, especially with qualifying. Like you said, I've had really poor qualifying in this league so far this season, so really nice to turn that around tonight. Hopefully we can keep that moving forward, and I think more results like this will follow.
Yeah, typically if you find yourself battling in the top 5 frequently, you'll come away with some podiums here and there. Of course, coming away on the top step is the ultimate goal, but today just one step short of that. You had a phenomenal race. Now, going back through it, is there anything that you consider doing differently besides the missed pit road entry there?
Definitely that, and probably try to pit before AJ there. He did a great job, sticking with me that whole run up to that point and sort of keeping the pressure on me. And ultimately that pressure is what caused me to make the mistake, right? I was just pushing too hard. So if I pit there, I could sort of control the tempo a bit more. Even if I made pit road entry, there was a chance with him pitting the lap earlier, the fresh tires were so much quicker the first couple laps. There's a chance he may have even still come out in front of me. So definitely something to learn there, but happy with the speed and looking forward to more runs like this.
Well, congratulations on P2 nonetheless. Is there anybody you'd like to say thanks to or shout out for your finish here at Dover?
Yeah, I got to thank you guys, doing a great job with the broadcast. Got to thank SNR, all the admins, all the sponsors hopping on board, giving us a great place to race. All the drivers putting on a great race for get home to watch, and my team VSPEED.
Well, we'll see you next time. Thank you for your time here tonight. Congratulations once again. Seth Hatchell, everybody.
One last driver to talk to. It's your 3rd place finisher. It's Adam Concrete Cabot. Adam, I gotta say, buddy, it was a little strange seeing you struggle at times in this one. I don't know if maybe I'm just being a bad commentator here and asking you that question right out of the gate, but did it seem like it was a little off tonight?
Well, I appreciate you being very upfront and direct, Bradley.
Yeah, that's me.
Let me give you my take on tonight. So, I'm gonna say not making excuses, but I guess this is an excuse. The setup was literally like broken. So let me explain what I mean by that. It wasn't like, oh, it was too tight, too loose, I didn't like it. It literally, like, if you drove in above a certain speed into the corner, the splitter slammed into the racetrack and the car went straight up to the track. So there was effectively a speed limit entering the corners, which really kind of screwed with the way I drive the track. But that being said, I felt like I adapted to it, and it's so tough to tell with everyone on different strategies, because that caution mid-pit cycle is what completely screwed me. That's what kind of just eliminated pretty much everyone except for Seth and AJ from being in contention with the win. But once everything leveled off and we got into a long run, I felt like I had the pace, which going into tonight, I was the least confident I've been going into Dover Day, only because I'm just really behind on this car. There's been a lot of changes to this car, and I pretty much only run the Cup car. So it's, I've run this car probably a handful of times over the last couple of years, but I figured, going to Dover, what I've always done at Dover usually works, and I'm out of the car. And, went in a little shaky, definitely didn't qualify well, but yeah, I was really happy with my pace. And, I netted out after the pit cycles and after everything kind of evened out, I was about 7 seconds back of Seth and AJ. And at that point, we ran the whole last run, pit, and ended up finishing, I think, like 4 or 5 seconds back from AJ. So I felt like I was faster than him, to be honest with you, but just never really had a chance with that caution mid-pit cycle. So, I mean, regardless, it still definitely was not a, just go out and drive and leave the field kind of day. But yeah, I felt like, man, I really wish that caution didn't come out mid-cycle, because it would have been interesting to see what I had for those guys. But it was a good race. Besides from that, I liked what the track is doing now in iRacing with picking up the rubber under caution, which is what happens in real life here, and kind of having to try to drive around the rubber to make speed, especially late in the run. But yeah, I wouldn't say Dover Day's dead or Dover Day's ruined, but obviously wish that caution didn't come out mid-cycle.
Well, I didn't mean to make it sound like that. And again, if at any point you get tired of hearing my voice, just let me know, Adam. We started this race out, like you mentioned, it was a little rough, and you adapted. We could tell that Cabot had figured it out there towards the end of this race, and you were defending Seth Hatchell. You tried it on the outside, you finally got to your outside, and then you did it on the inside. You guys still end up within a second of each other. Had you known that maybe at the beginning of the race, you think it would have been a different outcome?
No, because again, like that caution mid-cycle is what screwed everyone else. So, I mean, the only way that anything would have been different tonight is if I had a crystal ball, knew what lap that caution was coming out, and I wouldn't have pit when I did. But, pretty much the whole field pit when it made sense. But there were a couple guys, Seth and AJ, who gambled on there being a caution mid-cycle, right? So they went long, just not wanting to risk it. And, yeah, kind of a flip of the coin type of deal. But, yeah, I mean, I think the only difference is maybe I would have led some laps at the beginning and then kind of ended up back in the same spot. So I really don't, like I said, unless I knew that caution was coming, by the end of the race, I don't feel like there was really anything I could have done different. But, that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you're on the other side of it too. So we'll just have to wait for the next Dover Day to try to see if we can get back in victory lane.
We do have another race day here at SNR, 300 miles at Charlotte. Hopefully we can see you there. But before we see that, is there anybody you have to shout out to put the 17 car on the podium tonight?
No.
Nobody. Not a one. All right. All right.
We'll leave it at that.
All right.
I'd like to thank myself.
Thank the front
I mean, I'll
splitter.
be nice and thank you guys, right? Good job, VSPEED. You guys were great with your broadcasts. Bradley, I like your interview style coming right at me. But no, it was I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just
man.
talking to make sounds now, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, that's what I do every day. So we appreciate you coming up here and talking to us. Adam, we look forward to seeing you back on the track, and another race here for Concrete Cabot. We appreciate you coming up here for another one.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
The last time that I heard that guy's voice, he had flipped a car at, I want to say BTY, and ended up finishing on the podium. So it's been a minute, but he flipped a car over. Yeah, that was in the VSPEED top 10. If you haven't watched that was excellent. So yeah, the guy's definitely got plenty of talent. If you can roll a car over and still end up on the podium by the end of it with no cautions, mind you, there was no yellows in that race. So that's raw speed. And, just a little off here for this one, but I wouldn't doubt Adam Cabot will be back up here in victory lane soon enough. But, talking about next week, let's go ahead and bring it up. Got a lot of racing left to be done, and it's a long one here at Charlotte. 300 miles. That's a long race here. Compared to the full Daytona race, it's still pretty short, but I don't know about you. I'm looking forward to this. Charlotte's a unique racetrack in itself. A lot of history at this place, and I think we're in for a good one on May 23rd.
Yeah, and Charlotte's just one of those tracks. We talked about how tough Dover was. Charlotte presents its own issues, especially around the trial area where you can see right there on your screen, two very distinct bends. It's not a solid radius curve across the front stretch. So you got those minor adjustments that you have to make, and of course rules keeping you off of the grass. So watch out for that area next weekend, Bradley. I know you and Connor are going to have a blast calling that one. It's going to be a barn burner of a race.
Well, hopefully you guys can tune in at 10 p.m. Eastern Time for the Team Boss 300 here on VSPEED. It's another great battle in the points with 4 different champions and only one multi-time champion here in SNR. AJ Stravato is adding himself to the list of drivers that has the potential before we go into that chase format. But for everybody here at VSPEED that made this possible in the Saturday Night Racing League, I'd like to thank Logan Threlkeld for filling in for Connor Horn. You did an excellent job. I was a little bit out of my element here. Hadn't broadcasted in 2 weeks. GLR was the last one that I did, so I had an off week for 2 weeks, Mother's Day and all of that in between. But we appreciate your time coming out here and being a part of this. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You'll never miss a single race. Turn on your alerts, and you will get notifications for when we go live 7 days a week in real time. But that's going to do it for me. This is Bradley Cooper saying so long from Dover, Delaware. Who's it going to be next week for 300 miles as the championship winds down and we get to our chase format? For Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Morgan Cook, and Logan Threlkeld, stay tracking, everybody.